on the western edge of the Pacific. A wild, mysterious place of many faces. Papua New Guinea, where rugged terrain and isolation has allowed hundreds of ancient cultures to thrive. Each with their own fascinating and compelling traditions. From the remote highlands to pristine islands. Tribal life, a celebration of the unique sights, sounds, and rhythms of Papua New Guinea. "25,000. Roughly the number of islands found in the Pacific. The largest, New Guinea. The eastern half of the island belongs to Papua New Guinea, along with 600 smaller islands. Naturally, the islands region lays claim to some of the biggest in PNG, such as New Ireland, which lends its name to the surrounding province. The capital sits at its northern tip, Vientiane. Lying a couple of degrees south of the equator, this small, sleepy town is a famous jumping-off point. Its crystal-clear waters being a draw card for divers and surfers. Locals are happy to share the plentiful waves with any visiting enthusiasts. Apart from its laid-back attitude, New Ireland is renowned for its rich cultural diversity. At least 19 languages are spoken throughout the province. The gateway to these unique Melanesian communities, the Bolominski Highway. This stretch of road is a vital connection for the numerous villages that lie along the east coast, such as Losuk, with the beach on their doorstep and palms scattered throughout, all looks serene. Yet today, Losuk's activity level is going to surge. A new hut is being built. It's a group effort. Young, would-be apprentices hang around, eager to help and learn from the masters. Hut design and construction materials vary from village to village. In Losuk, sago palms feature prominently throughout. They're an obvious choice, readily available with a multitude of uses. Past generations figuring out how to cleverly exploit every part of the tree. First, the greenery is plucked off the massive fronds. The tough central stalk, or rachis, is reserved for later use. Next, the tough spine of each leaflet is carefully zipped off. Now, these raw materials can enter the thatch-making process. Experienced hands fold the fresh leaflets over a length of bamboo, then secure them in place with natural lashing. The lashings are skillfully cut and peeled into a thin, pliable tether. It's a repetitive chore. Yet, like anywhere in the world, light-hearted chatter amongst friends and neighbours makes it enjoyable. Over at the hut site, completed rows of thatching are positioned on the bare rafters and fastened down. When needed, more lashings are freshly sliced. Eventually, the end result will be an eco-friendly, weatherproof roof. While the thatching work continues, the new hut's walls are gradually taking shape. Again, the palm trees provide. Locals call these woven wall panels blinds. Deft hands make quick work of this task, expertly arranging the long, thin slices of palm stalk to create an attractive pattern. When completed, the rough edges are snapped off with a sharp machete. One panel done, a few more to go. Sturdy walls and roofing supplies aren't the only essentials provided by the humble sago. These trees are also a source of nourishment in the form of sago, a staple of PNG. Once extracted, it can be dried to form a type of flour. This starchy foodstuff is stored in natural bags made from pandanus palm leaves. A clever packaging technique and completely biodegradable. The contents of one of these neat bundles will feed a family for a couple of days. Food and shelter. Two bare necessities from one versatile plant. A little farther down the coast, things are quiet at Loan Village. But not for long.
Thank you. I would like to stand here and welcome you people today. Our tradition over here as a secret.
When invited into a village, it is customary to make an offering to show respect and appreciation. It's a fair exchange. Currency for culture. One way many tribes bring funds into their community. In Loan, visitors are given the honour of sitting outside the men's house. These special huts are common in many PNG villages. The men's house is where young, unmarried men live. Here, in the company of their elders, is where they learn the responsibilities of adulthood. Being involved in traditional dances is an important part of their education. The younger boys are here to learn and take part as well. In this part of New Ireland, residents adhere to Malagan culture, which focuses on honouring the dead. This song is usually performed when the time has come to finish grieving a loved one, encouraging everyone to move on. The beat on the garamut drives the dance. These slit drums are carved from tree trunks. Willem, the chief, is determined to keep his tribe's customs alive. He is concerned about their culture fading away. To prevent this, Willem organises for the village to put on regular ceremonial displays. With the performance over, the village falls back into its regular rhythms. For the children of Loan, Wally Beach is their domain, a natural sandy playground. While the next generation frolics about, well-practiced hands craft palm fronds into baskets. Another everyday way these islanders carry on traditions of the past. Continuing south, the next port of call is Laribina. While many villages share old customs, others have branched out, devising new methods to lure visitors and boost the wealth of their neighborhood. Laribina is on the must-see list, thanks to a local lady who came up with the idea to make these slippery creatures an unmissable attraction. These freshwater eels freely come and go along the stream that runs through the area, down to the ocean. Over time, the eels have been trained to visit the reaches close to Laribina, bait luring them in. A villager prepares a burley of canned mackerel. This is what the stars of the show have been conditioned to respond to. When sloshed into the water, it's a tasty signal for them to swim upstream. The eels get an easy meal, while visitors enjoy the odd thrill of having them slink against their legs. An eager crowd has gathered, splashing and jostling for position. Apparently, their scaly bodies have a silky smooth texture. Some eels are tame enough to be petted. A daunting activity, knowing their teeth are sharp and the fact that these fish can grow over a metre in length. Apart from bringing money into Laribina, the eels help the locals out in another way. They are heralds of dangerous conditions. If large numbers are seen moving upstream, villagers take it as an early warning that destructive king tides are imminent. For this reason alone, the eels deserve their regular fishy snacks. While mackerel is being served in the stream, cooking stones are being heated up in a village kitchen. The design of these earth ovens changes from region to region, as do cooking styles. In coastal settings, coconut milk is a common ingredient. Today, they're cooking cow, or sweet potato, taro, another type of starchy bulb, It takes skill to wrangle the massive banana leaves into a bundle.
This one, I'll put it on top, just to cover it up.
After a few hours steaming in the stones, the parcel of food is ready to unwrap and enjoy. While La Ribena is known for its eels, a place 10 kilometers to its south is famous for the crystal clear waters of its natural swimming pool. This is Fisoa. The waterhole is not the only drawcard to the village. In this dance, there is no sign of the national icon, the bird of paradise. Instead, the Papuan hornbill is featured, in the dancers' movements and in the carvings clenched in their teeth. Locals call these flying characters lung money, birds that never die. They are scouting the area for a lost soul that is in captivity. The masked Wanish characters accompanying them are there to collect the deceased's belongings and their remains. Listening to the Fisoan villagers, their singing is more melodic in comparison to the chanting style of other regions. A monetary offering is accepted by an elder. The proceeds from cultural displays not only boost the village's income, but also act as an incentive for the next generation to learn and preserve their customs. The next stage in this traditional dance features large tatanua masks, which are worn during Malagan ceremonies. According to Malagan beliefs, ancestral spirits are present in these masks. These helmet-like creations are carved from softwood, with crests made of vegetable fibers and paper bark. Sung in the Tabara language, this song is about a warrior retrieving a small boy's soul taken by evil spirits. By entering the shallows, these characters help to set the soul free. The final destination on this island is Libar. Over the years, this small village has earned international recognition, thanks to the talents of its traditional carvers. Their work displayed in countless galleries and museums. These wooden creations are not just art, they are an important part of Malagan culture. Through ancient, revered ceremonies and practices, souls are assisted on their passage to the spirit world. After the grieving period, celebrations are held for the departed. These carvings represent them during these proceedings. All evocative masterpieces that serve as constant fond reminders of these people's ancestors. The start of a new day on New Britain, the largest island of the region. Compared to its relatively tranquil neighbour to the east, New Britain literally explodes with life and potential adventure. Hosting 21 volcanoes, some still active. This one island is divided into 2 provinces, each with their own character. West New Britain is only sparsely populated. That, plus the fact this side of the island had no major European contact until the 1960s, gives it an untouched quality. Offshore, this province lays claim to 125 small islands. Within its borders, its people speak 27 languages. The port town of Kimbe is its largest settlement and capital. To the north lies Walindi, an old plantation. While the marine life in the bay attracts divers, the nearby forests hold enticing secrets of their own. No matter where they live, children have an uncanny ability to locate sources of fun. In Talasia, north of Walindi, local youngsters often play around these wrecks from World War II. What used to be an old airstrip is slowly being reclaimed by jungle. When fully functional, this North American B-25 Mitchell served in the Solomon Islands. But after making an emergency landing, this became its final resting place. children race to show off another feature in their aviation-themed adventure playground, a Lockheed Ventura, courtesy of the Royal New Zealand Air Force. While these aircraft have seen better days, they now serve a higher purpose: to get the imaginations of these young minds soaring. When exploring plane wrecks gets old, there is always the ocean, something the village of Kilu has easy access to. It's a small settlement with approximately 600 residents. These two hope to land a fish. No luck. Yet. Back on shore, there are trees to shimmy up. For the adults, there are gardens to tend. Farming land being divided up following the traditional clan structure. Clans are groups of people within the village who all share a common ancestor. Each clan is given a block. Then sections are allocated to individual families. Subsistence farming is common practice here. Villagers tending their crops on a daily basis and only harvesting what they need. Elsewhere, some important four-legged investments are busy snuffling about. In PNG, these swine are like walking piggy banks. Cherished commodities with a value beyond food. The exchange of a pig can settle disputes, be part of a bride price payment to help set up a couple in their new life, or play an important role in initiation ceremonies. Research suggests they were introduced to the mainland up to 10,000 years ago, giving these tubby creatures plenty of time to ingratiate themselves into the Papua New Guinean way of life. While this sow and her litter are welcome to wander freely and rest where they please, when it comes to living arrangements, their neighbours upstairs follow traditional village protocols. The families of a clan live closely to each other, spread amongst various huts.
The bigger boys, the younger boys, they have their own houses. Younger boys starts from 18 years old and upwards. Like little one like this stays with the mother. The girls, they stay with the mother. The bigger boys, age 18 and onwards, they live in a special house which we call houseboat. It's only for the boys. And this is where they're placed for making decisions and prepare them for their adulthood when they're ready to get married. but we stop for this like an open space, but God is with us.
While the old ways of life are adhered to, many Papua New Guineans have adopted customs and beliefs from the world beyond.
Look, you come. Sati can redeem this law. So in this Sunday school, we are using two languages. One is our own local language, and the Pidgin, which is similar to the English. Okay, Jesus, he give him walk longer disciple.
In Kilu, attending Sunday school and church is part of the weekly routine.
One time you tell all get a day enough long time he finish. Now this fella and he finish long
Afterwards, the children join their families in church. With the service over, the parishioners file out and resume their day. Not surprisingly, the youngsters are eager to get back to their usual pastimes. It's a peaceful existence, especially when you consider what lies nearby to the west. Papua New Guinea lies along the Ring of Fire, a seismically active belt that fringes the Pacific Basin. Volcanoes and earthquake epicenters are common along its horseshoe-shaped path. This is Garbuna Volcano. After being dormant for an estimated 1,800 years, Garbuna rumbled back to life in 2005, with a second display 3 years later. Local guide Nick Linge and his dog Sticky are regular visitors here. The sounds of the forest accompany those that make the trek. Rich volcanic soils are soon replaced by ash, a sign the volcano's peak will soon come into view. The smell, then sight of yellow sulfur is what first greets hikers. Having done his duty, Sticky lies on the sooty ground, leaning on a charred resting post. Garbuna's vents steam and hiss. Boiling mud. evidence of the geothermic activity simmering below the surface. An exhilarating experience, getting so close to the incredible energy rising up from the planet's belly. The neighbouring province of East New Britain is equally volatile and alluring. When living at the mercy of volcanoes, change is inevitable. This is understood well in Kokopo, which became the new provincial capital after dual eruptions in 1994 devastated its predecessor, Rabaul. Kokopo has enjoyed rapid growth. It now hosts more than 32,000 residents. Compared to life in the outlying villages, the pace in town is hectic, especially at the local marketplace. These are betel nuts. The seeds inside these fruits are chewed by many locals, a habit that stains their teeth and mouths red. The only form of protein sold at these markets is fish. To make sure they last, the fish are pre-cooked in a mumu earth oven, then dried and wrapped in plastic, ready to go on display. Different groups get the chance to sell their fish on assigned days, giving everyone in the area a fair chance to make a profit from their catch. Cash and coins are the usual form of currency used in PNG. But in East New Britain, traditional shell money is still used. Shells are laced onto strands of cane. Half a kilogram of these natural coins is worth about 25 kina, a little over $8 US. Travelling north, Rabaul may no longer be the administrative heart of the province, but life persists. So does Mount Taverva. While this menacing giant cannot be ignored, the locals that remain coexist with it. They even put it to work. It has a large debt to pay, and tourism helps this resting monster compensate the region it destroyed. The town of Rabaul sits within the Rabaul volcano, or caldera. Mount Taverva is not strictly a volcano itself, but a cone formed by one of many subvents. A short voyage across the harbour delivers visitors to the scarred base. Stony gullies, formed by erosion, slice through the lava flows. Taverva's last eruption was in 2014. The activity in its crater a constant reminder that harmless smouldering could escalate into tremendous fury should unseen conditions below the surface align. Fascinating to explore such a treacherous location. Nightfall approaches. With it, the chance to observe a demonstration of an ancient rite of passage. This final location? Gullum Village. Deep in mountainous forests, a bumpy hour-and-a-half's drive from Kokopo.
Firstly, on behalf of my village, Gullum Village, I welcome you to this special performance tonight, the Binding Fire Dance.
A fire is blazing in preparation for this unique ceremony. Before any dancers set foot on this starlit stage, musicians set the tone. The pounding beat and chanting has an important job to energize the forthcoming dancers. To these people, spirits live in everything and everyone. There is no separation between this world and what is beyond. This belief is the essence of tribal life. While preparing for the dance, the performers become a forest spirit, represented by the body-sized masks they wear, commonly known as kavat. The Binding Fire Dance is used to initiate young boys, teaching them to face the dangers of their bushland home, such as wild animals, fire, and evil spirits. This display is all about fearlessness and reaffirming masculinity. The Binding people are happy to share a taste of their inherently secretive ways. They understand the appeal of this fiery dance to outsiders. After all, this ritual is all about advertising courage. The version staged for guests is short. Actual ceremonies can go from dusk till dawn, the dancers staying in their trance-like state as long as the spiritual vibe lasts. Daring, hypnotic, a unique tribal spectacle. One that will be seared in the mind of any fortunate to witness it here in the islands region of Papua New Guinea.